All right, Murray State head coach Dean Hood, the Racers, proved a 5-0 with a win against Eastern Illinois last week, 41-27. They're up to 13 in the coaches poll that just came out this morning. This week they're going to go play Austin Peay. So, coaches, thoughts on your team, and then we'll go into some questions.
Yeah, I thought the guys really showed a lot of character, a lot of heart coming back. In that Eastern Illinois win, Eastern Illinois is, on the upswing. Coach really has those guys playing. I think they're a much improved team, and they play the game right, play hard, and they were up on us, and thought our guys showed a lot of character to come back, and then got a big one this week going down to Austin Peay. A couple guys that were at Southern Miss with Scotty Walden. They have a lot of respect for him, and they got a really good football team, and it's 2 plays, and they're 5-0 as well. So it's a really good football team.
Thanks, Coach. If anybody knows they're going to have a question for Coach, let me know down in the chat, and I'll call on you. Coach, we'll start this first. Just talk about your kicker and some of the kicks he made. A 58-yarder, but 4-4. He was clutch, and every time you needed him.
Yeah, he really did a nice job, and really happy for him. With his story, it's really incredible story about Aaron. And we're just blessed to have him on our team. And, he got going, I think, down at SEMO, with the kick. I think that really helped him. Then he kicked a really long one, I think, the next week, and kind of got his confidence up, and he's getting good protection by the line, and good snap by Chandler Moody, and good hold by Lewis Halton. And, he's been putting them through. He's had some wind help as well, but that's, not as easy as it sounds. You still got to, be able to handle left to right and all that kind of stuff. But that long field goal, we had the wind at his back, and it's the reason, we thought we could try to make it. He banged it home.
I know we asked about special teams before the season started, and when you were at Kentucky, you were in charge of special teams. But let's talk maybe specifically about kickers, or your kicker, but kickers in general. What makes a good kicker when it's time for them to put it between the uprights? What are you looking for? How do you coach that up to a player?
You really can't. I mean, you try to create, atmosphere in practice where everybody's yelling at them and all that kind of stuff. But, it's recruiting. Were you fortunate in recruiting or not? And that's very, very difficult, because there's a lot of guys. I mean, every guy you're going to have out there on a college football field can make a 40-yard field goal, a 42-yard field goal, probably a 50-yard field goal. All the ones in front of that, they got the leg. They got the physical tools. It's, do you have a guy that when the game's on the line or you need points, can they go out there and make it? That's a totally different animal, and how you figure that out is really difficult. So we're just blessed to have Aaron on our football team, a guy that can go out there and get you 3 points when you need it.
Let's go to Neil Bradley with some questions.
Coach, I want to ask you first up about Draylon Ellis, quarterback for Austin Peay, who's made a real huge impact for them. 12 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, and it seems like he's up for a weekly honor every week. What do you see in him?
He's a heck of a player, and really hats off to Austin Peay's coaching staff, because they had a true leader and a great quarterback on that last year's team. So I had to get a guy and get him going. And he's just, man, he's incredible throwing the football, capable runner. He can run as well. So that's scary when you got a guy that can throw it as well as he does, and he can run it. And, he's got guys that get it to. My goodness, they got 4, of the best wide receivers start for anybody in the conference, 2, 3, 11's, probably their best one. And then they're deep at running back. I mean, they had a kid's been out for a couple of weeks. But they've got, 2 other ones, 4 has been out, 21, 23 are really good. I mean, they got all the weapons. I mean, they are really scary, with all their skilled kids and an offensive line that's really solid, tackles, really good players. I mean, they're a force to be reckoned with, no question.
And also, if you happen to hold them down, they have a defense, forced 6 turnovers at Jacksonville State last week. So they're really getting it done defensively this year too.
Very disruptive up front. And that's where it starts. And then they're really, really good in the back end, 13's a really good player for him. 18's a kid that's, always in the right spot. It seems like he's getting their guys in the right spot. But it's that up front where it starts. I mean, those guys are really good. And like I said, they're physical kids, big kids, disruptive kids. And that sets the pace, for the back end guys being successful with getting takeaways.
Coach, in your rushing game, Witherspoon had 72 yards, a pair of touchdowns. Preston got some rushing yards from the quarterback position, and Rodney 32. So you really divided up amongst 3 people in your rushing. Talk about how that went against EIU.
Our line's doing a really, really good job of blocking. Spoon and Rodney are hitting the holes. Doing a good job of hitting the holes, and our Preston, I think, has done great with as far as knowing when to pull it down and run. I mean, he's made some really big plays for us, with his feet, not designed runs, passes that he's, decided to pull it down and run. And he's made good decisions in those moments. And that's really kind of been the MO all year for him. He's done great with that. So, we got to be able to run the ball, and that's going to be a battle against this crew without question.
And then flip it to defense. And we've talked about some of the playmakers you've had and the pressure you've gotten. You have 11 interceptions now on the season, which is 4 more than any OVC team. Just talk about getting those plays when you need them and getting the takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a little bit like them. I think up front we got guys that are putting pressure on the quarterback and not allowing them to step up or not allowing him to throw it on time when he wants to, and because of that, our guys in the back end have been able to make some plays. So we got to continue to do that. We've got to have a big day, up front, and try to get number 9 off his mark and give our guys a chance.
And I believe, if I'm counting right, I think it's 9 different players you have that have an interception this year. Can you talk to that depth and the sort that everybody makes a difference on the defensive mentality?
Yeah, well, I mean, some of that's been a next man up, mentality. We've had kids injuries. We've had kids injured. Really nice job by some of our guys stepping up. I think one week we went in and had 3 safeties out. So we had some younger kids and some kids that didn't have a lot of game experience came in and played really, really well. And that's a tribute to them. That they would have that next man up mentality and prepare and prepare even when the other guys were in front of them, to be ready to step in and do that. We've been really fortunate.
Last question, we'll let you go. Just 2 weeks left in the regular season. So obviously every game's important. When you got into the season, did you think maybe this is where your team would be with 5-0 with 2 regular season games left?
Well, that's what you go into with the mentality, and that's what you play for. You play for every week to win every game. But I had no idea really about our football team going into it. I mean, I in my mind, we could have just as easily been 0-5 as 5-0, just because I didn't know the makeup of our team. I didn't know the heart of our team. I didn't know the makeup of our team, talent wise. And we're still in week 5. We're still getting guys in the right spot, still figuring out our own team of, what can they, or can't they do. We're still making those decisions just because, being a new staff and coming in. But very, very pleased, very, very fortunate. I mean, a lot of things have happened that have helped us. And then our guys have just been incredible with, being resilient and handling the swings of the game and just all the changes that have gone on, with the season.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, thanks.